Stage 2 in Antalya belonged to local star Yeshim Boston, who took gold in the women's event, while Dutchman Mike Schlusser secured his place in Samson with a narrow win over American Chris Schaff. Now we return to beautiful Salt Lake City, famed for the world-renowned Mormon Tabernacle Choir, but who will be on song in Stage 3? India's Abhishek Verma celebrated his 28th birthday with a perfect 150 points in his semi-final win. In the final, he faced Denmark's Stefan Hansen, who was looking to go one better than the silver he won last year.
So Stefan Hansen here, the world #1 from Denmark, shooting his first arrow of the gold medal match here in compound men's individual discipline, shooting a 9 as well. And he has been asking about the wind here, clearly concerned about it, and he's standing as close to the building as he can. And the wind has picked up.
That 7's a big opportunity right there for Hansen.
Just pulling that one though.
Picked up a point, not much, but you could see that wind was bucking him around pretty good on that.
Just picked up a little bit. Abhishek Verma with his last arrow of the first end, a crucial gold medal match. The winner books their place automatically for the World Cup finals in Samsung, and Verma shoots a 10 with 5 seconds left on the clock. He had a little bit of swagger as he walked onto the shooting line here.
He was definitely happy about that.
Scores level, so we'll stick with Verma shooting first in the second end of the gold medal match. 10. Followed by a 10. They're matching each other.
Both of those were very smooth, strong shots.
Just pulling that one down. Still fairly central. Yep, pressure to take advantage. Not showing. Another 10 from the world #1 Dane.
These archers, they practice all the time to try to shoot their form consistently the same from shot to shot. During this wind, it makes it very challenging for him to do that.
Yep. 4th 10 in a row.
Wind picking up here in the booth.
We can see Verma wobbling around. He's holding on to this one. 5 seconds left. And he's pulled that one off the target completely.
The wind really got the best of him on that one. That wind, I can feel it up here in the booth. It is just galing right now.
Yep. Not affecting Hansen as much. He gets a 9. But a miss there marked up for Verma. How can he recover here? Well, gets an 8. But has this one already crept away from the Indian?
When the wind's blowing like this, it can happen to one archer just as easily as it happened to the last archer.
6 arrows left for both archers, including that one from Verma, and a 16-point lead for Hansen. Yep. Well, that's all Hansen needs to do. Match him arrow for arrow, and he's guaranteed the gold medal.
Good shot, 9 points.
That's right. Verma wants to, at this point, pick up enough to get within that 10-point margin in case there's a mistake by Hansen.
Stepping with an 8.
Okay.
Mr. Verma scoring 9.
Well, 27 out of 30, not a bad score.
15. Masser af tid.
And that's pinning off with 9s. We've got 1 in to go.
Verma to shoot first, trailing by 15. 3 arrows for each archer left in the gold medal match.
Værsgo. Stærk skud hele vejen. Masser af tid. 15. Yep. X.
10.
A 10. If you're going to go out, if you're going to lose the match, you want to do it with a couple of 10s.
10. Yep.
And if you win, you like to do it with a couple of 10s as well.
Guard in style. Last arrow from Verma.
And a 9 to finish.
And 28 out of 30. The writing was on the wall before this 5th end.
Yep.
And the world #1, Stefan Hansen from Denmark, finishes with a perfect score of 30. He handled the pressure and the intensity of winning the gold medal and booking automatic qualification for Samsung, even under the toughest of conditions given the weather. Hansen has won the gold medal in Salt Lake City and booked his place in the World Cup finals.
Going and practicing, you're just thinking like, what is this gonna end up with? Like, am I gonna miss the target more than once? But it held up fine. I was able to execute decent shots, and I'm pretty happy with it, actually.
It's sometimes difficult to relate to the viewer at home just how far away the targets are from the archers and how small they look to the naked eye. So we asked USA's Steve Anderson to get his eye in and reveal how he keeps a true aim.
Compound archery is all about precision. That's why aiming the bow is one of the most critical aspects of our technique. Watching at home, it's probably very difficult to tell what is happening within our sight picture and what we're looking at while we're at full draw. And those small movements that you might see us making are actually looking very big within our sight picture. On my sight, which is what I'm using to aim, I have my scope, which contains a magnification lens. Mine makes the target seem about 5 times bigger. And within that lens, I have a small black dot. That's my aiming reticle. And within the scope, there is a bubble level. And we use that so that we're not tipping the bow from one side to the other. To finish that all off, I'm looking at it all through a small hole in the string that's called the peep sight. I can explain how it looks. I can't show you on my bow what it looks like, but we have some handy arts and crafts pieces that we can use to give you an example of what I'm seeing at full draw. So Fran is holding our peep sight. This is the spot nearest to me that I look through. And I use this as basically a pinhole camera to focus what I'm seeing in the scope, which is Erica. Now this is a little harder to align than what I have, so thankfully when I do it by myself it's quite a bit easier, but we're gonna try to get Fran and Erica to line up on the target and show you what it looks like for me at full draw. They've got really good peep and scope alignment right now. We just need to go up slightly. And we need to move the peep sight. Yep, there we go. Now we just need to drop it slightly, let it fall. And Erica, you're gonna move away from you just a bit. And we're good, we can send her. Thankfully, when I'm doing this on my own, I'm controlling both the alignment of the peep and the scope. So it makes it quite a bit easier and quite a bit quicker. But what you're seeing in terms of the size, the visual, that's very realistic to what I'm looking at through my peep sight, through my scope when I'm at full draw.
USA kept up a perfect attendance record in the men's team compound with their 3rd final appearance this season, standing between them and another gold, were their regional rivals from Mexico.
No need to run. Yeah, beautiful, 10.
Another 10 there from the USA, on for a 59 out of 60.
left to right, Rio. You got it, bud. Strong shot. Yep, good. Screamer right side.
The USA made a strong start in the blustery conditions to take the first end, and they continued their good form into the second with 3 10s in a row.
Straight down the middle then for Rio Wild.
Is it even?
I was kind of kidding there, Nick.
I think you made a prediction on that one.
Midway into the third end, and Mexico were battling to stay in the match.
So 28 out of 30 for the Americans, still pushing the Mexicans hard.
Venga, Miguel, fuerte. Bien, 10. Buena. 20 segundos, Toño. Aguante. Eso, 10.
Despite Mexico's best efforts, America increased their lead by 1 in the third. We join the action in the fourth end as America pick up where they left off.
Well, playing to the crowd here on home soil, and you can't blame Steve Anderson. They have shot so well, this American team.
Yes.
Another X there.
Yes. 3 X's.
Amazing.
You guys are done. That's so awesome.
Only 5 points ahead with 1 arrow left to go. The USA have 3 arrows left.
9 points.
Another 9 there to finish on 216 points in total.
Yep.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Vic, you said it, it's like they're shooting in no wind, and we look down there, the windsock is at a right angle.
Yeah, that's a function of just good shooting and good training.
Yep.
Another 10. This could be a perfect 60 to finish in style in Salt Lake City on home soil. And let me tell you, the crowd are gonna go wild if they do for Rio Wild.
All right, throw it.
9 points.
Oh, a 9, but a 59 out of 60. What an amazing finish. And the Americans win clearly by 15 points, 231 to 216. Mexico didn't shoot badly given the conditions, but the USA were absolutely spectacular. Here we go. It's the gold medal match in the mixed team archery, Russia versus France.
In a high-quality first end, there was nothing to separate the French duo of Dodemont and Pinot and the Russian pair of Buliev and Avdieva.
10, tied score. Each team 39 points, so they'll go back to your week.
The windy conditions proved a constant battle, but it was worth the wait, and under pressure, France took the lead.
Wow, that was impressive, and that was lucky, because typically the quality of the shot degrades when you hold that long, and you could see she was really fighting the wind.
Dodemont continued her nerveless performance into the third end.
Movement there in the wind, you can see it on the stabilizer, but she still shoots a 10.
2 seconds left, and she sinks a 10. This girl has been on fire today.
Well, they came in to the third end with a 2-point lead. They come out of it with a 4-point lead, and France have got this gold medal in one hand at the moment.
The Russians applied what pressure they could, but it was not enough to prevent the French from securing gold.
Yes. But it's in the 10, and the French have taken the win here. The Russians did what they could at the beginning of the final end, but in the end, it was France who went over the line.
Chinese Taipei started stronger and established a commanding early lead over Colombia in the women's team final.
And a perfect second half, 3 10s, takes them to a 5-point lead, and with the cumulative score in compound archery, that's a very, very good start in these, well, changeable windy conditions.
But with Sara Lopez in your team, you are never out of the match.
Muy bien, eso es, eso es.
and the Colombians looked relaxed as they fought back in the second end. Their early deficit was overturned by the end of the third.
Time there, dropped down to a 9, so they dropped 2 points there, and Colombia have stolen the lead at the conclusion of the third end.
Try as they might.
Finishing strongly, team from Chinese Taipei.
Chinese Taipei could not match the consistency of the Colombians.
So 8 to win for Sara Lopez. And it's a 10, and the Colombians have taken the gold in the compounds women's team event here in Salt Lake City.
In recent years, Sara Lopez has dominated women's compounds seemingly single-handedly, but in a moving interview this month, she attributed much of her success to her coach, Eva Mantilla.
I have won 3 World Cup finals, 8 World Cups. I have 5 World Champs titles and I think 9 world records. I wake up every day and I go to the field, and it's like a therapy, like escaping from the real world, being there with my bow, with my friends. I have been shooting with them for 10 years. I had to work really hard in the beginning because I was terrible shooting 50 meters. We used to shoot FITA, and I was really good at 70, 60, and 30, but 50 was like a nightmare. Our coach ever came to Colombia in 2013, and he saw me and he told my dad, she can be a world champion. We were like, yeah, sure. I won't be a world champion, never. 2 months later, I got in the national team. And 1 week after that, I went to Antalya and I won.
Cuando vi a Sara, vi una deportista que faltaba direccionamiento y carácter. No puedo discriminar de que otro no pudo ser, sino que tenían en esa opción, la tenía ella, y pues como te he dicho, a veces escucha, a veces no. Yo a veces me enojo con ella, ella se enoja, y pues estamos en una controversia del que ella me diga, que yo le diga, o en la orientación también, porque solamente no es en la parte de arquería, sino en la parte de la vida.
He's the person who changed who I was as an archer, as a person. You don't see that in cameras. He's changing the game in compound archery, and I think he's one of the best coaches in the world right now.
After missing stage 2 in Antalya, Sara Lopez was back with a vengeance in Salt Lake City. In her second gold medal match of the event, she had Mexico's Linda Ochoa Anderson in her sights.
Starting off with a 10.
Llega bien a tu anclaje y dale buena sensación a tu disparo.
Ranked third after qualification. That's her first arrow.
Bien, bien, buena flecha, aparece 9 o 10. Linda, dale buena terminación en frente.
3 arrows per athlete per end, 5 ends, and a cumulative score. And Sara Lopez, well, has a perfect score so far.
Y dele buena sensación a su disparo nada más. Aguántelo ahí, trabájela. Trabájela bien fuerte.
Buffeting in the wind already there. Ochoa Anderson.
5, 4, 3.
Time running out.
2, 1.
Just releasing and just about getting a 9.
Bien trabajada, ¿eh? Venga, con decisión, Linda, fuerte. Llega bien a tu anclaje y dele buena sensación.
Perfect score to start for Lopez.
Aguántelo ahí.
Anderson
Tú sabes cómo.
has to try and get a 10 here, but she's getting blown around in the wind, and she's standing very much on one side of her target line, using all her time.
Venga, no pasa nada. 8, 7. Bien, Linda. Buen 10. Esa es, Linda.
Recover she has and starts with a 10.
Coordina y buena línea. En zona nomás. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien.
Lopez just slightly misses the 10 ring on that, but she's been on track pretty good so far.
Buena sensación a tu disparo nada más. Aguántelo ahí. Fuerte y dele buena terminación. 10, 9, 8, 7. Bien, es 9, linda, es 9. Buena flecha. Amarillito.
A little low there on that
venga.
one. Ochoa Anderson is married to Steve Anderson that we saw earlier in the men's USA gold medal final.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
Trabájala bonito, linda. Ánclate bien y dele buena sensación a tu disparo. Espérelo ahí, fuerte. Aguántelo, tú sabes cómo. 10, 9.
You can hear the Mexican coach is very, very vocal, but a grouping there that's quite wide vertically.
Solo zona. Muy bien.
Lopez all the 9s, so levels on score with Linda Ochoa Anderson in that second leg, but still has that 5-point lead.
Aguántelo ahí. 9. Bien, buena flecha, linda, esa es.
Well,
Parece
he
bien,
keeps
linda.
talking. Linda Ochoa Anderson's coach, Sara Lopez, shooting her first arrow of the third end. Oh, and that's gone high and into the 8.
Venga, linda, con decisión, fuerte. Tú sabes cómo, dele buena sensación a su disparo nada más. Aguántelo ahí en el amarillo, dele buena terminación. Peléela, linda, fuerte. 8, 7, 6, 5,
5 seconds to go. We saw Sara Lopez talking about her coach. Ochoa Anderson's coach is her brother.
Hay que pelear todas las flechas, venga. Vamos a trabajar amarillitos y darle buenas terminaciones nada más.
Muy bien. Eso es.
Oh.
Échale, linda.
Eso es, China, eso es. Igual.
Trabájela bonito, linda, fuerte. Peléela. Aguántela ahí en el amarillo. Peléela fuerte. Dile buena terminación. 10. Bien. 8 abajo. 8.
Well, a 24 there, so chance for Lopez to increase her score, but she just looked a little flustered there between her second and third shots, Lopez.
She did. Something looked a little off there, but I didn't quite catch what it was.
Peléela ahí, linda, fuerte. Bien, es 9, linda.
Off to the left and down then. We'll go for a measure that one.
Solo zona. Muy bien. Eso es.
Venga, amarillito nada más y dele buena sensación a su disparo, linda. Bien anclada. Peléela, tenemos mucho tiempo, fuerte. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Solo zona, Sara. Coordina, solo zona. Coordinadito, vamos. Eso es, muy bien. Eso es todo.
Venga, linda, con decisión, fuerte, échele.
As you mentioned earlier, you can see she is on the side there.
Aguántela ahí, dele buena
noticed Lopez
terminación,
was as
amarillo,
well.
fuerte, linda. Bien,
So
eso es.
perhaps they get less wind the closer they stand to the building.
Yep. May well be the case, in which case Lopez has a slight advantage.
Muy bien.
And she's shooting pretty fast here, a 27. And she's now 11 points clear into the final end. And you have to say things are looking very good for Lopez to pick up her second gold medal out of 3
amarillito nada más.
World Cup stages here.
Trabájela bonito y dele buena terminación, fuerte. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
2 seconds left. Oh. Holding on for such a long time there, and it's resulted in a 5.
Coordinada. Eso es, muy bien.
Lopez with a 10. Well, she has dominated this gold medal match here in Salt Lake City.
Venga, linda, disfrútelo. Tírele bonito, que se vaya a gusto y al centro. Bien.
People don't realize when you're shooting, it's such a fine line between shooting that arrow in the 10 ring and shooting that arrow in the 5 ring when wind gusts like these are pushing on you.
Muy bien.
Sometimes just a 1/10 of a second of when that shot goes off to make all the difference in the world.
Well, that's confirmed that Ochoa Anderson cannot win this. Lopez has got her second gold medal.
9, 8, 7,
inside 10 seconds and drifting off to the left there. It's not been a brilliant gold medal match, you have to be honest, for Linda Ochoa Anderson, but Plenty of world ranking points for her here. And Sara Lopez finishes off with a 10-10-9, 29 out of a possible 30. And she is the gold medalist here in the compounds women's individual.
So it's Sara Lopez who's back to winning ways in Salt Lake City. Denmark's Stefan Hansen secures his place in Samsung in September. Join us next month as the Hyundai Archery World Cup heads to Berlin in Germany.